Jimmy Uso's heel turn. A lot of people had a lot of mixed feelings about it. People were angry. People defended it. Where do I stand on it? I mean, why did it happen? How does this make sense? My initial thoughts when I saw this, when I watched this, is that they can't be this stupid. That's what my initial reaction was. They can't be this stupid to have Jimmy Uso turn heel on Jey after all they went through. Jimmy pulling the trigger to finally get out of the bloodline and finally convince Jey to get out of there as well, because it would be going backwards on the story of the bloodline, especially if considering that Jimmy rejoins Roman, he falls back in line in the bloodline. That'd be dumb. That'd be really, really dumb. But, I'm willing to give WWE a little benefit of the doubt until they script in the explanation by Jimmy Uso. But it really has to be a good one. It really has to be a good reason, because I really have reservations on how well WWE can execute this turn and give a proper reason for it. As for why WWE decided to have Jimmy Uso turn like right now, because I feel like it was kind of soon to do it. I mean, there's plenty of reasons. I feel like there's plenty of reasons. Maybe it's the jealousy angle, which is pretty dumb in my opinion, because it kind of alludes to what I said just a little bit earlier. It's like, what's there for Jimmy to be jealous about? I mean, he's the one that got out of the bloodline. I mean, yeah, he should have got the title shot, but it's like, what's there to be jealous about? What's there to be jealous about? He and Jey got out of the bloodline, but when it mattered most, he couldn't protect himself against Roman and Solo. And especially when he had that back in like 2020, he tried to protect himself, but he couldn't. And when he tried to get the main event shots, he couldn't. So, yeah, what's there to be jealous about, Jimmy? So they are planning to do the jealousy bit. I mean, they could have easily done that by having Jey dethrone Roman with help from a returning Jimmy, and then have Jimmy turn on Jey on the next SmackDown during their Jey's championship celebration, if that was to happen. So another potential reason is that maybe Jimmy doesn't want Jey to be the new tribal chief, because he wouldn't follow orders like Roman and Paul Heyman were alluding to, but also for Jimmy's sake, he would be concerned like maybe it would corrupt him. Jey would be corrupted by the labeling of the tribal chief, just like it did to Roman. So there's also that angle, and he's just like trying to protect his little brother, and like Jey is probably like deceived or disillusioned by that thought. And then maybe the third reason, and probably unlikely reason, is that maybe Jimmy had a change of heart. Maybe he wants to be the tribal chief himself, and that sets up this bloodline like divide even further. Jimmy, Jey, Roman, Solo all want to be the tribal chief. They all want to go after Roman's status, and that sets up a future fatal four-way for not just the undisputed title, but once again for the right to be the tribal chief, the head of the table in the family. So yeah, either way, it's like WWE has a lot of explaining to do on SmackDown this Friday with this new brotherly feud, and it better be a really good explanation, because if they don't do this, they don't execute this very well on the first go, then it's gonna turn a lot of people off, and it could like derail this bloodline story, like not like significantly, but slowly but surely, because there are like reports that everybody wants to hold off Jimmy versus Jey till WrestleMania. It's like, how are you gonna do that? Like, how are you gonna do that with so much time away? You have like literally 8 months to try and hold that off. You successfully did that with Rey versus Dominic, but the only reason you could is that, well, you put Rey on SmackDown, you put Dominic on Raw. So it's like, how are you gonna be able to do that with Jey versus Jimmy? I mean, you could technically do the same thing, but it's like, you just established this. I don't know. Maybe Jey doesn't want to fight Jimmy, or I don't know. You have to figure something out here. WWE has to really do something, because I feel like I don't know. At least initially, they kind of hot-shotted this. They kind of hot-shotted this part just to keep the title on Roman.